the process is, if you are looking at it analytically, and some of what you have produced, you would dissect, um, unpack it, pull it apart. For example, you're looking at elements of design. These are small parts of the whole design. When you look at it, you'll see like a jigsaw puzzle, the different little sections that make up the whole complete design. So some of these elements would be lines, shapes, colors, form, space, and shading. Those are complex. So a line has multiple different characteristics. So you have a dotted line, and if you want to look at how you can use a dotted line to create another design, you can use them collaboratively or individually to create designs, and this will give you a wide range of design opportunities. Now, what I've also discovered is that each element is used to create another element. For example, a line is where the genesis begins. That is where it starts. That's the basic element that is so essential to all the other elements. A line can be used to create a shape. A line is also used, lines are used to create shading. Lines are used to create an illusion of a form, depending on how you use it. For example, how a line can easily become a shape is when you put the letter L with merge it with the number 7. So you can merge the letter L for basic starters, and then you merge it with the numeral 7, and you come up with a shape, a basic geometric shape, which is a rectangle or a square. So here we are using dots. So we are using the dotted line. And pattern is also very essential to bringing out the aesthetic of the artwork, and the visuals, the image that you're aiming towards. So for example, I always like for us to use shapes, basic shapes that we can relate to, and something that we can build on. Because a line, then a shape, then an illusion of a form. Pretty much that's how it works. 3 steps approach. So here's the dotted lines repeated, which is a pattern, repetition, similar to rhythm in music. If you just put one beat, then there wouldn't be a rhythm. If you put just one stroke, there wouldn't be a pattern. If you put just one dot, there wouldn't be a pattern. When you look at a zebra, you'll see that repetition is what is there. Alright? Repetition gives you a lot of work, I must admit, because hitting the drum multiple times to create rhythm is gonna cause you to sweat. Um, so this is where the work comes in, and this is where commitment, discipline, and focus is required. So if you're making an illusion of a form using dots, you know that the dots, first you have to make a shape. Alright, so you use multiple dotted lines repeated. So you create your shape, then you start adding more intense, more dots. So the more you add, if you're looking at it from numbers perspective, you are gonna add a whole lot of dots, countless dots, which means it's a lot of work and a lot of patience, a lot of concentration to put these dots consistently. And as I said, starts from a dotted line. You can do a dotted outline or a straight outline, it's up to you, depending on what you can manage. After you add those multiple dots in an area concentrated, it's gonna give you a shadow, pretty much. And you need contrast, which is another principle. So look at pattern, which is a principle of art, and I mean not headmaster, I mean a rule of art or a law of art. Everything has its rule, everything has its law. Physics has law, nature has law. We use these words interchangeable: laws, rules, or principles, right? Or guidelines, to make it simpler, for want of a better word. After we add those dots, then you see what comes out, an illusion of a form. Here we go again. The hole puncher is showing you a dotted line or several dotted lines. So we have to look at it analytically, observe what we're doing, pace ourselves, and look at what is there in front of us. Analyze it, see what are the different possibilities that can come out of each activity. And just like the droplets that is being added here, it's similar to adding points. So when it's black and white, pretty much like what we've seen previously, that would be called stippling or stripling. Some people call it stripling, which is a shading technique. That's an element generated or created by using multiple dots to create shadows. And we know that light and dark is essential. You have to have light, the element light and the element dark, which focuses on the element of shading. Shading as an element of art. Alright, so repeated lines can create shadows. So if it's a dotted line, you can do that to create stippling. If it's straight lines, we can talk about that further. Those will give you another type of shading technique. So we will also look at the different shading techniques in other videos. So these droplets are similar to making their dots, pretty much. And a dot is a shrinked circle, is a minimal circle. So when you zoom in on a dot, you're gonna see a circle. Alright? If we're looking at shapes. Now this is where the full development comes into play. You want to add color as another element, and so you would use mediums that are colors, like a marker, for example. You can start with marker, and you can also use paint, right? The marker will get you quicker to your destination. Paint will take more time, much more time, with a detail brush. But for the younger students, you can use markers, right? And this is it. It's similar to stippling. Now, this technique is not new. This is called pointillism that you're looking at, because it is the colored version of stippling, and it is an image made up of strictly dots and colors, right? Now, the closer you put these colors, the more vibrant it's gonna be. The color is gonna be. The closer you put the dots, the more intense or vibrant the color is gonna be. There's something scientific about doing pointillism. You don't literally mix the colors like when you're mixing colors, when we deal with primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. In this case, I am using the primary, secondary, and tertiary, primary colors, sorry, not the tertiary colors right now. But you're gonna see where tertiary colors are showing up, because when you put red dots beside blue dots, you're gonna have violet. When you put yellow dots beside red dots and yellow dots, you're gonna get orange, right? And when you put blue dots beside yellow dots, you're gonna have green. So you don't literally mix the colors, if you wanna say that. You put the colors, and it could be a kind of mixing too, because it's like a mixed group then, mixed grouping, where you group red dots with blue dots. If you want blue violet, you have to put more blue dots in that area, concentrated in that area. And that way you will also get shadow, because violet or purple, you're gonna find that you get the deeper shadows using that combination of colors. When you put more red, you're gonna have a red violet, right? And if you put more red, when you're combining red and yellow, you're gonna have red orange, right? And it's the same way with the green. You're gonna have blue green if you put more blue dots, and you're gonna have yellow green if you put more yellow. So you try not to go too fast, You want to concentrate and ensure that you're not putting dots on top of dots. You're putting dots beside dots, and that way you will have that visual color blending taking place. And to be honest, it's an illusion, because when you go up closely, you will see that it's not one ribbon of color, it's just strictly dots. Alright, so keep in mind that the areas that you want to be lighter, you probably want to select a fewer dots. You want to put a fewer dots in that area, concentrated, and you want to make sure the darker areas it's more concentrated, especially with the combination of blue and red. Okay, guys. Hope you do enjoy and try this at home. Now, it's gonna help you to be more patient, more disciplined if you want to add that in, which is important to art. And these can help you to find a lot of problem solving, develop a lot of problem solving skills, right? Because the truth is, art or many things may be deemed as a problem for some people. But as you get used to it, it becomes more fun than a problem, right? So these are techniques that you can play around with and build on it. Build on it. The key ingredient for making improvement, dramatic improvement, is practice, practice, practice. As soon as you find some time, you practice. Interestingly, we are in the age of technology, and all of these can be done digitally as well. I'm just teaching the traditional approach, as you have pixel art and a number of other softwares that can be used to create this kind of art, or paint 3D. All of these can be. Okay, guys, please do remember to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to click subscribe. All right, thanks for watching.